Cheers. Welcome, everybody. Hey, how you doing, Lily?
Doing good. How are you, honey?
Not bad, not bad. It is that time again. It's Thursday, 4 o'clock. We realize that people are still moving around, getting wherever they need to get to. The bell just went off, right? So you're either dancing because of the money you made, or you're still pounding the table because of the money you lost. So we're giving you some time here. Go ahead, do what you got to do.
Have a breather.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw up some news here while we just toss around some BS current market things going on. Let me find that button, and I won't have to jump around too much. I got two screens up today, so you guys will be safe. Oh, almost safe.
We try.
All right, let's here's some news for you folks. This is news that I've gathered up over the last 6 days. Not trying to promote anything. It's just activities. We're not talking financials or public offerings or anything like that. This is activities. Things are actually doing. So it's juicy news. You got most of it is all OTC news. That's all penny stocks. But you do have a couple of penny stocks from the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange in there. But which one off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. Been a lot of news, definitely been popping here and there. You know, we had the President Biden just passed that thing for the hearing aids. We just had that run for hearing aid companies here the last 2 days.
Yeah, EAR went crazy.
EAR on the NASDAQ, EAR, couldn't miss that one. One we're quite familiar with, INND, the one that had the big, huge deal with Walmart. They were definitely catching some. And then you had someone who was I covered it yesterday, HRAL. They're called Hear at Last, you know, spelled as hearing, but they don't sell hearing aids. They do hearing tests. Well, hearing tests
are good enough for the market.
Right. You know, you just need to be close and you can kind of get sucked in by the current.
Yeah, it's the sympathy.
Right. That's exactly what it was, a sympathy play. And you look for those big pieces of news that are going to affect the entire nation. And there's going to be a small niche of companies that fit right in there. And even some on the edges that really don't, but who get sucked in. We've seen it for baby formula, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it here recently from monkeypox. Now, you know, so whatever is going on, there's always a few companies that are going to run, and maybe more than a few. But you got to be on top of the game. It's horrible to see the stocks running and find out it was news put out 2 days ago that you could have caught up with yourself.
Right. That's what we try to do. Is if it's so much sometimes, John, I get overwhelmed. I'm all over the place because I'm in the OTC. I'm in the NASDAQ. I am economy research in general, just how markets move and work. Oh my goodness, I am busy all day long. Just researching.
If I wasn't sharing my information, I probably wouldn't be doing as much research as I do. Sure. You know, I try to cover a lot. So it's really tough for me to focus in on certain things that I would like to. I'm not complaining, just saying there's only so many hours in a day, and I put in a lot of time doing this stuff. But because I am everywhere, I do see a lot of crazy stuff, you know.
Exactly.
Stock's been running this week just because they had super low floats and somebody discovered, hey, they got assets. Haven't had any revenues, no new information, but 2 and 2 equals 4. Low float assets, there's something there. It takes off. So sometimes it doesn't even take any catalyst. It just takes people noticing it and everybody noticing it at the same time.
Completely
All right, speaking of notice, how about TTOO this week? Another month.
She had a good week.
Yeah, monkeypox play, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right. It seems any company, I mean, seriously, that's one of those things in the morning when you get up, put monkeypox and the word company or something in a search, not on Twitter, just on Google. See what company comes up. Is it a new company you've never heard of and they use the keyword monkeypox? You may want to consider that stock. You know, something I didn't get to cover last week, I do want to cover now before we get too many questions. I found some extra information over here at my favorite website, OTCmarkets.com website. I love this site. One, because it's all about OTC markets. Most people don't know this, but this is a company on the OTC markets. You can invest in otcmarkets.com website. They are a business online. And this is their business. You're looking at it. This is what they do. And they harbor all this information for us over here, and it's updated every single day by FINRA and the SEC. That's all the information we're looking for, the information they have. So if you're running over to Google looking for that stuff, you're really wasting a lot of time. Start here. This is only current information. Well, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't think was here and I was looking for. And somebody on Twitter or I can't remember pointed it out to me. I'm over here at market activity. They got lots of links here. These are the juicy links on all of these links. These are the ones you pay attention to. Right here under corporate actions. Now, when you come here, initially you see symbol changes. That's not a real big deal. I mean, it's interesting, but you're probably not going to make any money off of a symbol change. Well, right here, these arrows actually open up and expand, and I did not know that. And there's a few good ones here. First one we got that I am excited about is tier changes. This comes out first thing in the morning. And if you're looking for a stock that's coming from Pink Limited to Pink, or going from expert market onto Pink, right?
That's helpful.
Those are the ones that get big jumps, because when you go to the expert market, they go under 0001. I don't know why, but the price gets annihilated on the expert market. And when it comes back, they have to be at least 0001. And that's about where they get 0001, 0002, 0003. And that's it. But what was its price before it went off the market? That's where it normally returns to. And if it was 2 cents, folks, what kind of gain is that from 0002 to 2 cents? I do believe that's 10,000% gains.
A lot, yeah.
So, that's a huge increase. So this will actually tell you, and it's in chronological order, so it doesn't get any easier here. And it tells you right here what they were and where they're going. We had a lot of them get thrown onto the expert market today. And that's what the double diamonds mean. That's expert market. You can't buy it or sell it down there.
Well, John, just curious. I see one on there. Scroll back down real quick.
Yeah.
I see one on there. Just wondering what happened to them. Like, what are they telling me? So BOTY, that one.
This one right here.
This is the lingerie fighting championships. It's the craziest stock I ever found.
I do. I've seen this news. I've seen the pictures.
So why are they there? Are they telling us that they went to yield?
They dropped from Pink Current to Pink Limited, which means they're late on filings. They now have the yield sign up. You can click it. It'll go straight to the news. We can go over to their disclosures. Right here, they tell us delinquent SEC reporting, so that's their problem. They're also a shell risk. They're not making any money wrestling around in lingerie. Imagine that. All right, there's their SEC filings. Is this? No, it's on the OTC. I do not see. I see 10Q, 10K. There's their annual, 10K annual. What I don't see are any attorney letters, but you don't need attorney letters with 10Qs or 10Ks. This is the last quarterly, July. They've got the annual in for May. I don't see anything here.
Well, the one in July said it's for the last quarter, so it ended in March. Okay, I see it. Never mind.
Right here, you can see from 10 to 3 to 6. But you got an annual there in the middle, and you don't need an attorney letter. This means they're audited. If you've got a 10K or 10Q, it normally means you're audited. They'll normally tell you unaudited up at the top if it's not. But so normally it is a filing, which is the reason you get dropped down to limited. I don't see anything here that's missing, but there are a lot of other filings. There's lots of filings.
So I was just making sure I was understanding how to read it, though, and that's what's happening with them.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. It's a pretty basic page. You just got your ticker symbol, the date, the symbol they're actually using, the name, and what market it is currently on. Let me see. No, that's symbol change. I knew something looked funny there. Tier change. The old tier and the new tier.
Okay, perfect. That's what I need.
So like this one here, Stratus Capital was pink yesterday. Today they're on the expert market, not being able to be bought or sold.
Speaking of stuff like that, I want to cover just real quick because we're in that area. EVFM has dropped from NASDAQ to the OTC. And EVFM, we've played it a few times. We talked about it a few times. They were the company that had the birth control product Phexxi, which is for women. And I think it might have been their market cap or something like that. It was something to do with financials.
It was their bid price. I read it. They got a NASDAQ warning. They weren't meeting their bid price, and you get so much time. Yep. Now, most of the time, it's 6 months. It's 180 days you get to where you need to. And I'm going to presume that's what they had was 6 months and didn't need it. But
I'm just really surprised they didn't do a reverse split or something.
6 months ago, they were at $8. So I can't imagine that they had any problems back then. They got down
I think they reverse split for that $8, if I'm not mistaken. Eventually, like somewhere back in the day. I think they did. I could be wrong though.
Well, it fell all the way down here to 27 cents, and look how it's flatlined. I mean, really, for about 30 days, people were just doing nothing with it. And she's going into a dip right now with just a wee bit of a turn coming up just now. But I mean, she's way down there. Funny thing, she's actually on the OTC now, you said?
Yep, she's on the OTC.
So, and they didn't change her ticker. Normally they change the ticker when you move.
Maybe it takes a day or two. I don't know. They usually do. Well, I wouldn't say it's bankruptcy just yet. So maybe that's why. Maybe
it doesn't say anything here. It actually had 15% gains today, being thrown down to the OTC like we're a dungeon.
They're in trouble.
This was the one I think I found here. As previously disclosed, EvoFem Biosciences was not in compliance with certain requirements for maintaining listing on the NASDAQ, including the bid price rule. So they were suspended as of August 11th.
Yeah, I knew it happened recently.
And it went up today. But, this is a whole different audience. It's gone from the NASDAQ down to the OTC, and the people that bid on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, most of them don't look at the OTC market. So this is a whole new audience down here for this company. And this was one of the ones running back when the contraceptive stuff was running.
So the R versus V. Yeah, R versus V. We'll just say that. That's exactly. They took off. We had a nice few trading days there. Even I traded EVFM and was alerting everybody in the Discord about it. So yeah, and now this is where we've ended up. So it happens, everyone.
So a few other things we got over here that you may be interested in. You can keep up with splits. They let you know when a reverse split or a forward split occurs. There's a forward split right there. They tell you how much it is. Whoa, look at that. Shares increased by 1.16 for one split. Itty bitty tiny thing, 1 to 5,000 here. So if you're looking for stocks that are reverse splitting, a lot of these stocks normally tumble after they reverse split. The stock goes way up after the split. People see they've lost all their shares and they know what's going on and they just sell, and it falls and gets even worse. So you can normally end up with a real low price share there. Let's see what else we got over here. Deletions, suspensions, and halts. If your stock isn't running, maybe it's been halted. And over here, you got the skull and crossbones.
The caveat emptor.
Yeah, this is actually the worst thing you can be on the OTC market. There was nothing worse than caveat emptor. You can even be caveat emptor and not be on the expert market. You can be pink and be caveat emptor, believe it or not. And you cannot be bought or sold. They will even block all of the information on the OTC markets. You can't read anything. You can't even read about the company. They consider.
I remember the good old days, John, when you could trade it. And actually, one of my last biggest OTC trades, and I mean biggest gain, was a caveat emptor that I got about 4,000% off of. And this is, about a year and a half ago. But
Right.
it was right after that, maybe within the next couple of months after that trade was completed, that the SEC put that out where you cannot trade them anymore. They won't allow you. And so the brokerages don't allow it anymore.
Right. Now, I have had lots of questions about Trading Aries. Trading Aries is a new trading site that is backboned by Trading Station. Trading Station does not sell expert market. Nobody does. That's not a big surprise. Trading Aries told me that they did. Someone did some more investigating and said it's not possible if Trading Station is the backbone. If they can't do it, then their partner can't do it. Well, I got in touch with the company again and I asked them and told them exactly that. And they said, look, we have access. Now, they reiterate over and over again, the liquidity is stinky. I mean, it is hit or miss on the expert market because there are brokers and marketers moving these shares, not investors. So they'll try. So if you own a stock, I mean, here's the thing. If you own a stock and it falls into the expert market and you bought it at 006 and you see it fall down to 4 zeros or even 5 zeros, anything, you want those shares. You want to average down at that ridiculously low price and you want to get 10,000 shares for a penny or 100,000 shares for a penny. That's what you want. This company will at least try to do it for you and they're not going to charge you for it. So Trading Aries, right now they got a deal. You deposit $500, they'll give you $100 for free as well. I think I'll put a link down in the comments. Tell them Jersey sent you. I don't get money for it, but I do get influence points. So anything you do for me, I do appreciate. So how are we doing up there? Well, we don't have any comments yet, but I see we've got a
comments.
Few
we do have some viewers, absolutely. So, and just to remind y'all, in case you're not reading the comments, you can ask for your tickers to be looked at, and me and John we'll try to get to them before we end our little show here. So put them in the comments. We'll get to you. Glad to have you out here today too. All right, John. So
I've got a couple stocks that we can take a look at that viewers of my videos on Top and Hot asked me to take a look at, and I wasn't familiar with either one of them. Hannibal 311 wanted me to look at TSOI. He was very excited about the number of patents that they have and the stem cell research that they're doing. Now, there's a lot to be said about medical, and that's the problem. It gets so technical and so deep. It's kind of tough to boil down to make an interesting review. But there is a ton of information about this company. They're up a little bit today. The Therapeutic Solutions makes immunity drugs. They're working with stem cell research to work with other different types of diseases. Very high float here, 1.3 billion. They were actually making money, so they're beyond being a R&D company, a research and development. Those are the type that are just going to eat you alive because they need money to keep doing the research. Yeah, they're alligators. But I did open up one of their financials, and there's a lot of information. As a matter of fact, if you're into this stem cell research, and they've got some patents here and they're doing some really serious work on stuff here. Currently, the company is focused on immune modulation for the treatment of several specific diseases. TSI is developing a range of immune modulatory agents to target certain cancers, improve maternal and fetal health, fight periodontal disease, and for daily health. And right now they're working on something for chronic traumatic CTE, brain injuries, and lung pathology. But down here, they've got lots of information about what they're doing with their stem cell research. And it is interesting because their science is taking stem cell to a different area. I don't know how to explain it, but they're using it now on cancer as a cancer killer. It actually finds cells it's targeting and just kills them. And they've got lots of information here about this company. And they do have some FDA trials that they are in the midst of right now. And that's really where it's all about. I think one of their main trials started in 2021. Let's see here. Therapeutic solutions.
I see some COVID news there too.
Yes,
that might be some of the stuff with the lungs you were talking about, because there are a lot of problems from ARDS with the lungs.
JD Cell, that's their specialty immunity booster stem cell project, and it was working on COVID-19 and ARDS. That was something that, and because COVID seems to be more under control now, we just don't hear about the progress being made. It's not being front page news anymore.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people still working on this from a lot of different ways.
There's a lot of people still suffering the after effects too. I mean, it's
yeah, and then there's the boosters, and I mean,
yeah,
it's not over. That's the bottom line. It's not over. And then they've got something here. They're working with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Again, with their stem cells are different than the normal stem cells that people are doing. So there is lots going on with this company. So if you're really into that sort of thing, I know stem cell research is something that the rich people like to pour their money into. And this is on the OTC market at what price? Geez, less than 2 cents.
Yeah.
Less than 2 cents. So, these are the sort of companies that if they do hit a bullseye, they're not on the OTC market for very long at all. Let's go see what the chart looks like for TOSI.
And the other thing you can think about too, I mean, they could get bought out. They could merge. You don't know. It depends on what they're doing and who's interested.
That's right. TSOI. I hate my dyslexia. All right, let's see what we got here. So she had a high about 6 months ago of about 5.5 cents and a low of about 1.5 cents. She's pretty close to that right now at 1.8 cents. She isn't showing a lot of change of direction. She's going sideways and dipping ever so slowly. Now, if she hits this low, we might see something. I mean, many times a 52-week low bubble, and that's a 4-hour. How far back can we go? All right, 1 cent is her 52-week low bubble. She wasn't down there very long, though. I wouldn't call that a normal low, but it's going to show up in the algorithm as a low bubble when it pops up over here. And that, if the company has value, you'll normally see a good bounce off of a 52-week low.
Yeah.
Let's see. She's got some good bounces going on here. What sort of bounce is that? 17 to... All right, it just looks big. It's not that big. Let's bring that down.
The charts are so funny in OTC.
What's that?
I said the charts are so funny in OTC and the way they look. So, yeah.
Yeah, when you have different amounts of volume, the bars tend to look different. They look bloated, I was just talking to Lily about Dorf, which was Tim Conway years ago. Most of you have no clue who he was. He had a character where he would put shoes on his knees, hide his feet, and he would walk around on his knees. And he looked like a dwarf, but they called him Dorf. And that's kind of what OTC charts look a lot like. Their bars look like dwarfs. She has been sitting on top of the 200. I mean, she was under it hard. She got on top of it a few days ago, and she is just stubborn. She is sticking on top of right now. And look, we do have some increase in volume right there.
Yeah, that's a significant.
That's more volume.
It's very noticeable. Yeah.
We've got a crossover, and she just crossed the signal line here, as well as the PPO and the MACD, which are pretty similar. And the PPO, to me, as soon as that starts pointing up and crosses, you can count on some growth. So I'd watch this. I mean, it looks like somebody's watching it right now. Another stock that was brought to my attention was by Scott Schweizer. He wanted me to look at Hill, and it's a good thing I did too, because Hill actually had a merger, which I was unaware of. I guess they didn't have a news press. This was found in their 8K, came out 3 days ago. August, well, I couldn't have come out. See, it says here it came out the 15th, but the news is about August 16th. How do you do that?
On August 16th. I'm just telling you, tomorrow, this is going to happen.
Yeah, this is tomorrow's news. You'll want to tune in every day for this. August 16th, 2022, Hill International and Global Infrastructure Solutions and Liberty Acquisition Sub entered into an agreement and plan of merger. Now, I haven't done any more research. That right there is the key words, right? So they just had a merger come together. I don't know anything about these companies, but they're making money. This is on the New York Stock Exchange. They're at $2.81. Remember, folks, any stock under $5 is a penny stock. Doesn't have to be on the OTC. As long as it's under $5, it's fair game. This had a wee bit of gain today, maybe on that news. But like I said, her financials are strong. She's doing $377 million a year, getting to keep $123 million. And share structure, not quite sure what the float is, but I do know it's under 58 million. So the float isn't bad. That's not a bad float at all. So the company's got a deal going on, probably worth a little look-see. Speaking of look-see, let's see what that chart looks like. HIL. You guys got any stocks you want me to look at? Okay.
Nothing
That's
yet.
COPD for sure.
Yeah, nothing yet.
That's not a ticker, is it?
No, he was talking about the news that you were going over.
I thought, yeah, put a dollar sign in it. I may have looked up COPD. Wow.
I mean, look how it's flatlining, though. That looks really funny. That chart looks extremely funny.
Yeah, that's a 5-minute chart. Let me go back 20.
Look at
so
that.
Nobody looks at this company. I mean, and that was all aftermarket, pre-market. That all the activity. I mean, you had a little bump here a couple days ago.
I wonder if it's halted, John.
Well, let's see, 11th, 12th. Oh, you mean up here, flatlining?
Yeah, like after it moved, I wonder if it got halted.
Well, what was that jump?
There.
The jump went from $1.74 to $2.83.
Yeah, I think that's the merger news.
Right, and
I think it might be halted.
Yeah, it does look. Well, let's see what sort of. Let me see if I can actually zoom in on the minutes.
I haven't never seen a straight line like that.
Yeah, that's honestly, this is what I see on a lot of biotech research and development companies in between phase trials. You hit phase 3, it's going to be 5 years. Woo! You've got a long stretch of nobody doing nothing because they know nothing's going to happen. Yeah, this doesn't look like it. I mean, I see there's something going on here, but that is going from 280 to 281. I mean, it's just breathing. It's just expanding. I really don't think it's trading, honestly.
I don't either.
See, they need to put something up here in the corner, a big H
to
for
let
halt.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, instead of you having to search around. Now you can see we do have some volume down here. What's this volume bar right there? That's 200 shares. That's what? No, that's 300,000 shares.
Okay.
That's 100,000 shares. And here at the very end of the day, we had almost 300,000 shares. But I mean, the prices.
If it's not some type of halt or something crazy like that going on, because you can see there's volume. It's saying there's shares. Makes me believe that it's being algo traded right now.
Yeah, there's something going on, and I don't know. I don't have a home page I run to check for halts on the major exchanges. You should always have pages. Once you find a page that tells you this information, save it. Save those pages. Anything that saves your time on research so you don't have to search. You just go to where you get your information. Man, that's how you get a lot of research done. You have the right tools in your tool bag.
Also, I just want to say that, some people might be listening to me and be like, she's crazy. Halts undo in 10 and 15 minutes. What is she talking about? I have seen halts go for 2 weeks. I have seen halts go for 2 months. So it can happen. It's usually because of news or something going on with the SEC and an investigation. When it's long, so it can happen.
A halt can be because it rose too fast or fell too fast. It can be halted because of news. The company can stop their company from being traded because they want news to come out. They want everybody to have a chance to read it, and then they'll put it back up on the market. Could be good news, could be bad. You never know. But there is there is a page that will tell you that, and they have a letter for each type of halt. And you get used to knowing which letters are the bad ones and which ones are the okay ones.
True.
Oh, so who we got here? Gabriel Bonin. He's the one mentioning the COPD.
Yeah, it's not a ticker. Not a ticker.
Not a ticker. It's a problem. It's not a ticker. Thank you for being here, my friend. Top Sealer Jurgen. Nice to see you here, folks. Dorf on golf. Yes. Yes, somebody who knows what I'm talking about. Yes, Dorpun Golf. Absolutely.
John won the internet today, y'all. That's it. He's done. Stream over.
All right, while we're still BSing here.
Well, let me just talk about some of the things I went over. I mean, I've
I
traded some stuff. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to jump out and let you share your page.
I'll take over for a minute.
Cross your eyes, folks. I'm going to cross it for you.
Let me pull up everything that I do if I want to show that. So let's go ahead and give me just a second. I'll share my screen with you guys. All right.
So I'm basically just doing what everybody else is doing. There's a lot of meme stocks been bouncing lately. Big was a eye catcher.
Oh, that's what I've been talking about.
Were you?
All right.
Great.
Yes, I was.
Think alike. Go
All right,
for it, girl.
Can you see my screen?
I do.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me erase some of this stuff that's not relevant anymore. We get rid of all that. So as you can see, I've been charting and trading BBIG. So the reason why I'm bringing it up is because we have a free section in our Discord. Me and John, that's where we're at. There's a free section there, and we have an OTC area. Now, we'll trade anything under $5. Like I said, penny stocks. So it's not just OTC, but I'll call it out for the OTC, the ones that want to see what we're watching or following. And so BBIG was one of those. And I want to say it must have been not yesterday, but the day before. I can't remember. Nope. It was right here where this line is. So right here, I was waiting for this. Let me pull it up a little bit further. Took the downtrend to stop.
Know, BBIG was pulled off the market, I think.
Oh, yes.
For a few days. It was just pulled off. It was actually thrown down to the expert for a few days, and then it came back on. And that's what everybody decided. Everybody said, hey, look at Big.
Hey, it's back. But I want to say it was 2 days ago it came back onto the market. Mm-hmm. And this was 8/17. So this was yesterday. So this is our pre-market right here. And I was watching the movement on it. We already have this channel established as an uptrend. So what happened here is I was waiting for this wedge. I was waiting for it to break out. And we got that. However, we retested the channel. So I didn't call it right there, but it's probably about $1.37, $1.32, something like that. And we traded it. I told them to sell, that my target was $1.64, which is right here, and it hit $1.65. So there you go.
Ooh,
nice little move. Yeah, it's a nice little move. I pretty much captured the whole move. I want to say I was only 2 or 3 cents off the bottom. And then, because I liked what it was doing, I was not worried that we were going to drop out. Now, if you look at it over the past, we'll just go to 5-day, 5-minute. Oh, hold on. Let me readjust. Because if you look at it, and this is just a 1 minute, 1 day, but if you look at it, it has dropped out of that channel. Still in an overall uptrend, but it's dropped out of that channel. Right. And this is something to know. When you already have these channels established, you'll see it'll start acting like resistance. You see what's happening right here?
Yeah.
It can't quite break back into it. Right. So until it does, not interested. Even the volume's down from what it was this morning. So is it going to play again? Probably. It's one you can keep your eye on.
Well, isn't this is Vinco, which is working with a media platform that is going to compete against TikTok, and they think they're going to rip TikTok apart.
Yes, I want to say that's ByteDance. There's something to do with ByteDance. There's a few other players involved.
Right. Yep.
Yes. There's a lot of people interested in this one. And really, it got beat down so bad. We'll go back a little bit further just to give you some information. I mean, BBIG had hit $5.99 here in January. We got our market top.
What's the bottom?
Oh, John, we have to go a little bit farther back because BBIG.
No, I mean of that surge you just showed us.
Oh, the surge there. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, the bottom of that.
We're on the bottom of what we're doing right now. All right, so right here, the bottom is 222 or so, 218, and then we moved up to $5.99. It was a nice run. I remember playing that one when it happened in January. But since then, the market conditions we've been in.
Looks like a Christmas tree.
It's been it's been selling off. It's been beat down. I really never thought that we would drop below this support right here. Really, this like $1.94
Right.
area, and I was
I wouldn't have
shocked when
thought
we went
so
under.
either.
Yeah, we went under $1, and that could have been because
But
of
it's
the
like
whole.
it's like a tilted cup right now. It's almost come all the way back up to that low.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
had.
I'll get a little bit closer for you so you can see that. So
Yeah,
right
she's
here,
almost back up there. Yeah.
trying to fill that gap, which will be around at the bottom of it, which would act as resistance 202. So that's where BBIG is now. If we can get over that 202 range and consolidate there, we could see a bigger move up for sure, especially if we have volume.
Yeah, and the volume looks like it's been coming back the last few days.
Yep, and I'm gonna go to the 20-day. You can see what it was looking like before it was released back out of that market where we could trade it. It went all the way down to 67 cents,
Jeez.
And catching that move when it came back would probably been almost impossible. It moved so fast.
Yeah,
It
look
went
at
all
that.
the way to $1.41.
Middle of the day. Everybody was at lunch.
Yeah. So that's why, of course, I'm not going to call it up here. I don't know what's going to happen. This could have kept going to $5 for all I know. So I was waiting for it to establish the channel. And as you can see, that's what I was following here.
Yep.
And of course, when I'm ready to trade it again, I'll keep an eye on it. But I'll
nice charting
it.
there. That's a nice layout. Easily understood.
Yes. And so what I like to do, even though I'm in this area, you never know when it's going to be the time that it breaks out and falls down like it did here.
Right.
This is why when I found these wedges like this, I draw this line. If it can't prove to me it can hold over that, I'm not interested.
Right.
I'll wait and see what happens because it could drop out. Just like
and you had a ton of those when you opened up your screen. A bunch of them coming down.
I did. I had to get rid of them, but that's why I was doing it.
And so we can see you were looking for that breakout. You were watching that support real tight. You just kept following it.
Right here. Absolutely. Yep. And I was a little giving on my stop, but
looking for that bounce.
It was pretty tight. Yep. And we got a nice bounce. And of course, you probably could have stayed in the trade for a little bit. It did give it back right here in this area when it fell out of it. But, if you'd have held from there, this was just a day trade. But if you'd have held from there, you'd have done just fine, hitting the $1.94 area, $1.90. But I don't like that volatility. When it's doing that and you're not sure what's going on, I don't like putting people at more risk than they need to be.
No, that initial trade you showed when you got out first thing in the morning and it dipped and then it came back and even had higher highs. Well, you would have had to go through a lot of broken glass to get to that second higher high. You'd have fallen and been wondering, and it's just easier to take guaranteed gains and then make a second position with a new strategy.
Exactly. I will say I traded it this time, and that same day I traded this one too, and I think it was $1.54. I told everybody that was the sell point, which is right up here at this area, and we got it. Whatever it was, we had 2 successful trades on it yesterday.
What time was that? What time did you exit that first trade?
The first trade was exited at right on this candle here, which was 9:50 a.m.
10 to 10.
So we had it for what?
20 minutes?
20 minutes tops.
Right. And that's what I see. The first half hour of the day is a whole separate sector of your trading day. The market moves in a certain direction, and then after about 10, it does something different. It may continue, it may not.
It usually takes a breather, though, like you see here.
Yeah, and that's a good place to exit because confusion comes in the next 10 to 15 minutes when it redecides what it's going to do. It's reloading up. So
I like to see the decision.
Yeah, I like that first trade. You know it's doing what it's doing. You get out as soon as you see a dip. Just take that guaranteed gain in the first half hour and then get ready for your second strategy for a second play, and you're starting off on a win. Boy, that's a nice day to start.
That is a nice feeling for sure.
Uh-huh.
So the other one that I was playing in there, and this one wasn't as good, we will revisit, was MNMD. The Mind Medicine.
Oh, with the
the
psychedelic drug company. Maybe ketamine.
Please don't pay attention to this stuff. All very rudimentary. But this channel right here is what I was trading this morning. And what I was hoping is that we would see continuation. and I was trying to anticipate that.
Oh,
we didn't quite get it. Like I said, it could break out, right? It could go down. So what I did, we were doing well enough in the trade that I told everybody to raise their stops. There's no reason to take a loss here, So they should have broke even or been a little bit profitable here. So I mean, I do my best to try to protect when something changes. It's not looking the way I was anticipating. You can't win them all, but you can be safer. You can tell when the chart starts changing, starts looking ugly. Right. So it's done. But that's one of the ones I did this morning. It shouldn't have been a loss for anybody. As long as they raise their stops, like I said to do. But I am hearing some talk about ARTL. That's another one you can look at.
ARTL.
Yeah, I've pulled it up for you. Heard a lot of chatter about that one. I think there was some news here in the pre-market of 816, 815, and it just blasted off. I can't remember what that news was, but we've hit 7.2 on that one. So that was a nice one. But what I like to see, John, that's what it's doing right here. It's holding up. Do you see this consolidation right here?
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. And we haven't made a newer low from the drop from the high. So keep an eye on this one, you guys. ARTL. Think we might see some continuation on this, or at least a push back up into this.
It looks like what I always do from the bottom of that surge where it started to grow to the very high bubble. It looks like it's centered off right now.
About halfway.
Yep. And it's gotten calm, and now it's ready to make its second move.
You want to wait for the calm. It doesn't mean it will continue, but this is a good spot to start looking at. Even if you have to swing it short term, it's a good area to build a position and then just determine what your support should be. And if it's not holding that, you're out. So I would anticipate this one. If ARTL wants to continue, absolutely got to hold above the 436 area. And that's the bottom of this. And I would anticipate, just like it's doing right now, to hold the 486. Right around 485, 486, maybe even 480. But if it's starting to look ugly just as soon as it starts giving that back up. Okay, you guys, just keep that in mind. So I'm just passing it along. Maybe you get a little bit of money off of this one. Just keep an eye on it. And
Arteo, the one you just talked about, had news 2 days ago.
Yes,
Arteo Bioscience reports positive preclinical results with its novel inhibitor to fatty acid binding protein 5.
That's what it was. Now, that doesn't mean that's good information. But if that's the news and we're not anticipating anything else, it's very likely this could bleed off. But as long as it's going to hold where those lows were, the 485 area, keep an eye on it. It may try to build back up and just revisit the 6 and 620 range. We will see. But it could be over. And if it is, let it cool off, guys. Let it calm down. And there will be a chance to get a position.
Lily, didn't you give an alert today on a IPO?
Oh, yeah, that was GCT. I'll look at. I did not alert it because the IPO itself was too high. What I did was I got in the Discord last week and was telling them how they could buy pre-IPO. And that GCT, which is Giga Cloud Technology. So Giga Cloud was IPOing today. We knew
Chinese
about it.
company.
Hong Kong. Yep. And it had a lower float than the other Hong Kong stocks here lately that I've ran. So it's pretty much like a lotto play, John. So what I did, I knew the IPO price was between $10.50 and I think $12.50.
Right.
So I pretty much, just because you put an order in saying I want 100 shares does not mean you're going to get 100 shares.
Oh, no.
But Webull was allowing you to order pre-IPO. So that was good.
At what price?
Between $10.25 and $12.50. I'm pretty sure
really?
That's what it was. Yes. So what happened, we opened up this morning. I don't know exactly where we opened, but I want to say around 17 or so. And it went to 21.22. So there it is. And, anybody that did that treated it as a lotto play.
That's 100%.
They got some money there. And it's
now, in case a lot of you forgot, what was it? 2 weeks ago, we had 2 Chinese companies that IPO'd without warrants.
They ran so
They
hard.
had no warrants, and this is the difference. They came on with a very small amount of shares and no warrants. And one started at $4 and went up to $800,
$2,500.
and the other one started at $12 and went up to $2,500 in just a matter of days. These were both Chinese IPOs with low floats. So the
METL went up to 350.
Have done, and it still could do something crazy. It took a couple of days for that other one.
It takes a couple of days. So like this one came all the way back to 1251, pretty much your IPO price where you could have bought in. And there's a lot of people out there that couldn't get to it, that's not interested until it comes back and revisits this area. I totally anticipated that as well. But we have a nice little build up and uptrend here all day. And then it popped off again, I think, to the 15s. Nope, it actually went to 18.
Nice pop. Late part of the day.
And it's doing it again. You know, it's starting to build up in around this $14 range. So it's one to watch for sure. I mean, it is a low float. It will move fast up or down. So play accordingly, everyone. And do not on these low float IPOs, do not buy the top. Do not because it's running. Just wait for it to calm down like it's doing right now. If you want to take a chance here, that's way better than buying it up here. Okay. And it could do more. It could go to 100. It's a lower float than the other two that we had from Hong Kong.
Really?
Oh, yes. It's like 350,000, I want to say. It's a low float.
Now, somebody was asking me, maybe you can help here, Lily. I don't know if there's an actual standard answer, but somebody was asking, what kind of float do you want to see in your companies when you're trading? What sort of floats are more advantageous under what conditions? Now, to me, I always think of a low float as, a real low float is anything under 20 million, 10 million. But seriously, 50 million is a low float. I mean, I see stocks with 6 billion shares. How I would love an 80 million float when they got 6 billion. So I don't have an actual number that I find that if there's.
I do. Okay. So 15 million and under is the ones I'm really interested in. I'm still interested if it's 20 million and under because that is technically a low float.
Right.
But the lower it is, the better to me. But here's the thing. The lower it is, the more volatile it will be. Right. So you have to be careful in planning that and getting into those types of plays because how violently it will move once liquidity comes in, once volume comes in, you guys, it can move violently up and down. And the thing is, you may not have the heart for that. You may not have what it takes to get through that. So you're better to be in before this happens.
It's kind of like having high delta on an option.
Yeah,
it moves real quick up and down.
It's extreme, but I actually like doing low float plays. I do them quite often, and I'll watch them. And when I find the right one or the right scenario, we'll play it or we'll. We
covered a stock yesterday in my video. It WSFL, I think it is, 260,000 shares.
Oh wow!
Quarter million shares.
That's what they call a micro float. So this one is too. This one's like 350,000. So it's a micro float as well. It's very small.
Is it really that low?
That's what I've been gathering. Now, to me, in my opinion, looking at this chart, it looks like it's a higher float than that. So it might be more. It might be 5 million I'm sorry. It's 3.5 million. Because these candles don't even look like it's a micro float. You can tell the difference, you guys, if you're looking at the chart.
Right.
The bid and the ask will be really huge, and the candles will be all over the place.
What was the volume?
You're looking at a low float.
What was the volume on her today?
I can't see that. Sorry, hold on. Let me see.
I noticed.
Here.
If you go to
I don't have it.
If you go to the daily and just put your mouse over the one day, you can see volume up in the top corner.
John, you might have to teach me. So what I do, I follow my volume bars at the bottom. Like I can tell if we're increasing or not. But I don't have a volume turned on.
Which
I'm just getting used. This is GCT. I'm just getting used to Thinkorswim and charting, you guys. I used to do all of this on my phone. So forgive me. I'm getting better and better. But a lot of the times when I trade, because I had to do it on the phone for so long, I'm really good at eyeballing what I need to see and where it's going. And like I can identify a wedge without drawing it out. Like this right here, we got a wedge going right here, descending wedge right here. I can already see it.
We got just about 11 million shares, and it looks like she's still trading.
Oh, yeah. She should be. I mean, being on NASDAQ, they can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this could be a buildup for a nice pop in the morning. We don't know yet, but it also could go down just as fast. So I like to see it when it's calm, when it's building up. And if I was to trade it, because it is a low float and you didn't get in way back here, there's not much cushion there. There's not much safety. So you have to be willing to treat it like a lotto. You know, you're okay with losing, or you're okay with adding. You're okay with playing it out. But don't ever use any more money in this types of stuff than you can afford to lose, because it is an IPO. There is no way to really chart this. There is no history. And more than likely, if it does go, it's being pumped. So you have to know that.
Right. And it's a Chinese company. You don't want to hang around too long in these companies. You don't know what's going to go on.
I just can't. You can't put that trust there. You just can't. So until they prove themselves, and if they do, there'll be another opportunity, and then we might look at it.
Since you got your chart up, you want to take a look at one of these stocks that Top Sealer Jurgen threw up? MF.
Where was it got?
We have Monkey Visit Santa Today.
Visit Santa Today. I love it. Hey, oh, look at that. Oh, juicy.
Whoa, aftermarket is taking off.
This is just the 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm going to see if there's any news on this one.
What a move. Yeah, you look at the news. I'll keep looking at the chart. Oh, my gosh. So it's already filled a gap that it had from a couple of days ago, you guys. It gave back. This is why you're seeing so much resistance here and it pushing it down. You see that up here at the top? 325 was a high from 4 days ago, and 327 is where it gave it back here. So totally could expect that. For it to reclaim that and go over, it's going to need to build up a little bit more. It can't just shoot straight up. It's overextended. So 308 is another area that would be trouble-ish, and it gave that up already. So it needs to hold like, oh, this is going to continue. We're going to hold like 289, 285 area, and then we might continue up. If not, then you have to kind of re-out. It might hold 284, somewhere in there. You could see that, but that's a lot and not enough data so far to tell you what's going to happen with it. But look at that. Let's get a bit closer. Look at that nice, beautiful, just
they really don't have any news, but people are picking apart their financial, which is good. They've doubled their revenues year over year. So people are happy about that, an increase of 93%. But there's no news.
Maybe it got squeezed a little bit here. I don't know. Maybe somebody was wanting to cover here. I mean, look at the last 5 days. It came down. So this is a low here, and it's possible we got some coverage here from some shorts that they wanted to close their position and just picked it up for the volume. Who knows? That's why if you don't know, if you don't see news, the technicals aren't lining up just yet. Be patient, because the move may be over. And you know what? That's okay, because you can always find another one and get into that, or find something else to trade instead of buying a fallen knife or anything like that. You don't want to do that. So yeah, I want to see it hold the 284, 280 area for sure. And if not, then this is done. Now I see it's trying to hit on its 50 and hold that right now. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a strong resistance at about 315 that comes from about 4 months ago.
Yep. I figured, and I knew, like, this right here is just from a couple of days ago, this area, the 325, 327. You could see, like, the bar, it wicked after 317. This was a full bar and then a big, long wick of about 10 cents right there. That shows you there's pressure. There's selling pressure, you guys. So that's why, it sold down real quick, and now we're here, and we're going to have to battle it out if it's going to continue, or it's going to go ahead and cool off and just give it all back. We'll see.
Well, it looks like Top Sealer Jurgen is watching the aftermarket, because Sam Mountain Top is running aftermarket as well.
There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, look at that. He found all the juicy ones. So this one was like $1 hanging around this dollar area, and then just popped off to $1.38. But look at that massive wick right there. My goodness.
Let's see if there's anything going on with this one.
$1.38 to $1.25 to $1.38 is all wick right there. So there's selling pressure there.
CFO has made some inside buys, 36,000 shares at 97 cents a share.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Don't see any real news here. They're just talking about him buying shares.
Yep, so he bought it. That was enough.
And it's not a very big purchase. It wasn't 36 million or anything. It was 36,000 shares. But there you go.
We're technically in an uptrend since this past 20 days or so, halfway through, about 10 days ago, from 88 cents. So we are technically in an uptrend. He makes that buy. And everybody else is like, ooh, let's get it. So here they go jumping in. And more than likely, this will cool off a little bit, okay? It'll revisit these areas more than likely, if there's no other news. But nice. Right. That's a nice
now,
there.
Looking at the long chart on the 4-hour, you can see it is just broke out over the 200.
Let's see that. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Just now poking its head up and over it, which it hasn't done in a very long time.
Yep.
And that's actually one of the setups I look for. Oh, it just jumped up again.
And see, it's over the 200. But
yeah, it just bounced again. I can see
that. Does it start making full green bars and holding above it?
Baby,
that's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah. And then, you got to get all your EMAs and SMAs in order. Like this chart is so unhealthy right here, but it could turn around. Let's see.
But she could definitely take off, though. As I said, one of the things I look for is on the hourly and the 4-hourly for the breakouts that haven't happened for months and months. And a breakout means they finally get over. And you can see the size of the bars get bigger. As soon as
that's what I watch.
Yeah, it stands out. You say, ooh, something's happening. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, if it's wicking like this, that's interesting, but you need to start seeing some full body candles and what's happening because it gives you more confidence in the buyers. But right here, you got a lot of selling pressure with these wicks. So we'll see. They're fighting right now. They're absolutely fighting it out.
Top Sealer says that it's got a price target of $8.
Holy smokes, that would do it. Now, I had to find that. I would love to read up on that a little bit.
Comes from analyst Colin Rush.
Even though, and they do this all the time, too. They'll put out an alert saying, hey, our price is $8. And it'll move on that. But this stock absolutely will not hit $8 tonight. Okay. So just give it a minute. Let it cool off. If it's something you want to play. It will come bouncing. Back. It'll come back. It'll come back and retest.
Honestly, I think of the aftermarket and pre-market as the wild, wild west.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
than the actual market.
Volume, but you're getting the same movement off of very little volume.
Yeah, and less chances of halts. I mean, they could, but they really don't halt it.
Oh, no, right. You rarely see a halt aftermarket, pre-market. And you'll see huge jumps and then huge falls right behind it.
You can. We can. It just depends. Like a lower float would do well in aftermarket or pre-market as well because you don't need as much volume or liquidity. So there it is.
So it looks like Microvast does have some catalysts going. They're into pioneering batteries, working with some science there. They've got some inside buys going on. They've just had target price, it looks like, has been raised. So they got a lot of things that are going to stimulate. That'll be one to watch in the morning. Even if this thing drops back down overnight.
Yeah, you can let it cool off. There's nothing wrong with that. You've already missed that move.
What you're seeing in the aftermarket hours is just a very small slice of all the investors, but it's a representation. And if you had a lot of people interested now, then tomorrow morning, there may be a group of them that are still interested that weren't here now. The way
I see it, you have a lot of people that's in here, this range, that can't trade after hours, or they their broker stopped trading at a certain time, or they didn't see it. So in the morning, when they can trade again, they're going to start taking profits more than likely. So you'll probably get a dip when the market opens. You're going to have a lot more volume then. So give it some room to breathe and let's see what it does. But I would keep them on my list just to watch and see what it's doing tomorrow for sure.
We got one more here if you want to take a look. We are just at the 5 o'clock. But Mike said it's been skipped over. I'm sorry about that, Mike.
Apologies. I can't see the YouTube anymore,
Right.
so I can't read the
I've got
comments.
2 screens. As soon as we share our screen, we can't see anything
Yeah, I
over
can't
here.
see. I don't even see John's beautiful face.
So we are looking at Happy Valentine's chocolate wine.
I gotta quit. You gotta quit. That's funny. HBCW. There we go. A lot of barcoding here. This is OTC for sure. I'm almost certain.
All right. So what are you on there? The minute? Yeah.
Yeah,
up.
I'm going to back up.
Yeah, she's got a nice rhythm going to her right now.
20-day, 1 hour here. I mean, it is a nice up climb here. Look at it.
Yeah, look at the 4 hours. You can see she's definitely taken on some.
This is, yep. Let's go to the 4 hours. So, John, if you don't mind, maybe look up this one, see what's going on news-wise, because we were just at 0001.
Like, I love that price.
17 days ago. So this is very interesting.
HCBW. Let's see what we got.
Look at this movement in the past 6 months here.
Looks like it's in green energy.
Okay, so it's been barcoding between the 0001 and the 0002 for months and months and months. And now we finally got some movement. Broke out over this price right here, 0007 and 0008. So that looks good. I would love to see it hold the 0007 and 6 area for continuation.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't need to give that back up, you guys. If it gives that back up, we're going to probably make another low and try to figure it out again. So once it's broke out, we want to see that continue, or we want to see a good support here. Okay. So let's get a little bit closer. I'm going to go to the 5-day, 5 minute. Look at it. Nice. And then when it did pop off here to double, was that double? Yep, 0013. It came back to 0006. And that's where, like I said, that's where I want to see it hold. It needs to hold that.
And right now, she is sitting beautifully. The PPO, your percentage price oscillator, has a crossover going up, and the MACD has a crossover going up. I'm on the 5 minute as well. Everything looks like it's ready to continue.
It looks good to me.
Continuation.
I like this one. I don't know if there's any news or any
catalyst
anticipated.
News. The only thing I see is it's an EV battery play. Others on Twitter were trying to find news. They just said, slap it. Just slap it.
Well, it could be the green energy bill too. It could be. That could be something that's, kind of.
Yeah, we've still got
it heated up.
Right.
But I like it if it will hold 0006. I would not let it fall much further than that. I would not.
I do see rumor here of a merger came out on the 12th. Let's see.
That's interesting. Let's go back.
Merger. Oh, right. This is the one that was doing. We actually did cover this, doing the merger with Penn and their subsidiary Pacific Energy Network. So we've already looked at this. So they have a merger agreement going on right now.
Well,
it just
maybe
hasn't.
Somebody got in it.
Yep.
Maybe somebody got in it. I hope so. So the 12th, we were still barcoding between the 1 and the 2. And then that's probably the merger news, some green energy stuff, just a lot of stuff that's, plays into each other, helps each other. It can't hurt it. And here we go. We're moving up. It's actually pretty beautiful. Definitely want to see it break out a point, that 0.0013. But it's got, in my opinion, it's got to hold that 0.0006 area. No lower than 5. What's that?
I said, we want to see it soar. See, you can't see. I've been throwing some cartoons up.
Well, another thing we want to see, and because it may cool down a little bit, that's fine. I would love to see some consolidation, kind of like what we had here over the past 5 days. I would love to see it continue to do that, stair step. If it can stair step instead of just popping off, you'll probably get a better, stronger move to get over 0.0013.
That's a nice stair step over there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, that's kind of a big reach right there.
Yeah, so that's beautiful.
It had to cool off a little bit, but keep your eye on this one. I'm not sure who brought it up, but I don't hate it. I like this one.
This was brought up by Mike Seppi.
Well, Mike, I think it's a good one to
Thank
follow.
you, Mike. We do appreciate it.
Is there any others, John? I know we're after 5 now, and I hope I was helpful.
Let's
stop
see here.
Sharing.
INND eliminating shares in 19 days.
I think I stopped sharing. I'm sorry.
Mike CP says that merger is completed with that last stock you looked at.
Oh, it's completed.
Yeah.
It had to hold that area. Like they're really bad about buying the rumor and selling the news. So be careful, Mike. So maybe see some consolidation, then maybe I would like it.
INND, that's a good one. I'll have to look into that. Maybe I seen it or didn't, but they're eliminating some shares in 19 days. Don't know how many shares that is. Let's see.
Sure. Yeah, one more time. We'll go see INND before we leave.
I'll look up the share. See, I mean, if they see it there, then there must be a 8K or something else.
As you can see, I've already charted this one time before.
Yeah, well, INND is the one that made they bought 2 hearing aid companies in the last year, and one of those companies
and we've got all that hearing news right
with
now.
Walmart, and Walmart upped the ante on it, doubled the stores from 7,000 to 15,000, upped the purchase to $10 million. And now Biden just said you don't have to have a prescription or a medical exam to go get a hearing aid. You can just go get it.
So what I'm thinking, John, is that me and you must have covered this recently. That's probably why I have to start it out.
Talking about this one.
Because I have the low right here of 0.002 charted. And really, had I went ahead and kept an eye on it, because I did not. If I had kept an eye on it, we would have caught this move for sure. But I haven't looked at it in a minute.
Oh, you're breaking up on us, hon.
I'm just, look how far it's moved. Hold on. Let's go to the 20-day. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay. So, I drew a fib retracement on it. And right now, we're going to have to, because we gave it back here, we're going to have to break over the 0.0248 to continue higher. And we need to hold the 0.0199 or 0.002 area. So if we're going to continue, we may get back a little bit more than that. And if that's the case, your support would be at the 0.0162, around that area. But this is moving because of that news. I mean, that's all really good news. And the planet's kind of aligned, and here we are.
And you've got President Biden's thing going on with the hearing aids, which was just Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying. The planet's aligned.
I cannot find the information on the stocks. I'll have to jump around. It's not the most current 8K here. That's some other news about their finances, which is looking good. They've got some great numbers going on here. And they also list other companies that they're selling with. Giant Eagle, Rite Aid, Best Buy, Amazon, well-deserved.
Yeah, I remember you saying that before.
Yeah, they've got lots of stores that they're selling with. That's a huge list.
So I like that. I like that they have, other catalysts. They have things coming. They're moving. They're planning, and they're achieving. They're doing things.
They're making money.
Exactly.
They're only doing about $500,000 annually right now. At least that's what they were doing at the end of last year. Well, they've made deals. They've gotten a contract with Walmart. They've got their kiosks up now. It's a whole new ball game for them. Whole new ball game.
Exactly. And I'm just going to try. I mean, I know how these stocks can move. We're currently, it gave a lot back. We're in an uptrend. I mean, pretty much did a V recovery right here. So it's in an uptrend. It was probably a good dip buying area right here. And I would look at it tomorrow to see if it's going to dip down a little bit and hold. And if you're not in, it'd be a good area to get in if you want to trade it.
Yeah, and I just don't see this as a day trade stock. I see value in this company.
There's some value. The problem is that this news dies down and I don't know, it gets forgotten about. We could see it bleed off some, but I still think it has long-term potential.
We want to find our entry points and build a position here. We don't know where the price is going to go in a year, so you don't want to buy everything today. It could go lower.
I do think it could have some long-term potential, but just because this news is so hot right now, you could see some lower.
Yeah, I always wait until the news dies down. That's just common sense. I've paid too much money for a lot of stocks.
I mean, I think it comes with experience too. I think a lot of people expect it to do more, or and then you see all the chatter online and Facebook and stock twits or whatever. It's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. I mean, they practically convince you thinking your money's their money now, and you just going to give it to them too.
Yeah, and INND, I don't think of that sort of
careful.
stock going to the moon. I do see it having good bounces when good news comes
Yeah.
out, but I see it constantly getting higher highs as she goes through time because she is with big companies that are going to promote her products. And now people don't have to spend money to go buy a hearing aid. They can just go walk in and say, doesn't Grandpa need a new hearing aid? And just grab it. No problem. And that's going to make sales go up. People are going to be able to buy them without having. I mean, how many more people would go to the doctor if you didn't have to pay for your medical exam?
True.
All of us.
So Camilla says I'm in INND at 0.006. And I would say that's a good area to be in. You know, that's
yes, it is.
So you've been in for a little bit, and that's good. And especially, you know, you're long, but as it moves and pushes like that, there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of profits. And then once it comes down, dies down, add to your position there. Your average will still be pretty low, and you can keep making your money work for you. So however you want to do it.
You got to remember when you're on the OTC, you're probably paying a transaction fee.
That's
so
true.
you want to make sure that you're working with the right number.
Some trade it, I'm long, that's it. I'm long, I'm not getting out, I believe. And some trade it, I'm in and out. And some just hold on to it forever and never sell because it's not worth the price of selling it. You never know. So you just have a plan for whatever it is you're doing out there, you guys. And John, I think we did pretty good. We're going to wrap it up.
I sure appreciate the questions.
Thank you.
I appreciate the viewers. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate all the input you brought today.
You start getting me look at charts, I won't shut up. So
I like your charts. It's different. You know, it's like eating someone else's spaghetti. We're all using the same ingredients, but yours tastes different than mine. So I like to see that. And you're trying to make sense to me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to make sense to everybody.
Thank you, folks. We know we ran over a little bit today. Hope you don't mind. We want to get to all of your questions. We'll be back next week. Bring your questions. Bring them early. We got time for you. Thank you, folks. We will see you next week.
Bye.